start with verbs like gustar. Why are they different? Okay, most verbs are conjugated for the subject, right? So yo corro, tú corres, él corre, right? Verbs like gustar are different, okay? What do you need? You need an indirect object pronoun, okay? So the indirect object pronouns are me, te, le, okay? These are the singular indirect object pronouns. Then nos, os, and les are the plural ones, right? These indirect object pronouns are going to tell us who likes, okay, or whatever verb like gustar is, right? These are the ones that are going to tell us who is the subject, not the conjugation of the verb. The conjugation of the verb, okay, let me, you need the a second, the verb in singular or plural, depending on the thing you like. Okay, or the thing that you are liking. Okay, so in English, it would be like the book is pleasing to me. Okay, so for example, I'm gonna give you an example. Me gusta correr. Okay. Well, I'm gonna start with a singular thing. Me gusta el coche. Okay. I can change me for any of these indirect object pronouns. Gusta will not change at all. Okay, because it is not depending on the subject, but the thing. Okay. If I like two cars, okay, me gustan los coches. Okay. It's the same subject, but the verb is conjugated differently, right? It's one is singular, one is plural, depending on the thing. Okay. So pay attention to that. Okay. There's a lot of times we use me, me gusta, I'm sorry, me gusta el coche. Okay. I tell my students, okay, that a good way to do these sentences is to divide them into, right? This goes with this, right? The subject, right? It could be a mí, a José le, a nosotros nos, right? And gusta goes with the thing you like, okay? So pay attention to that structure of the sentence, okay? The one that I said, me gusta correr, correr is a verb. You can like to jump, run, dance, okay? Correr, bailar, brincar, okay? All of those, you can make a list of things that you like are going to be singular. When the thing you like is a verb, then you use the singular form, okay? And the other if the thing is if the thing you like is singular, you use the singular form. If the thing you like is plural, you're gonna use the plural form. Okay, so that's it for gustar. Okay, reflexive verbs, okay, are also in this chapter. Okay, so the reflexive pronouns, okay, are different but very similar. Okay, they're different but similar to the indirect object pronoun. Why? Because you have me, te, right? But then you have se, okay, for él, ella, él, ella, and usted, right? And then for the plural, nos, os, and se, the same one, right? For the ellos, ellas, and ustedes, okay? And you have the verb. So for example, if we have lavarse, okay, the reflexive verbs, when they are infinitive, when they're not conjugated, they have the se at the end of the verb, okay? So this part of the verb, you're going to be conjugating it as a AR verb, right? So, for example, me, you have the indirect object pronoun before the conjugated verb, lavo, te lavas, se lava, and then nosotros nos lavamos, vosotros os laváis, and so on, okay? And ellos se lavan, okay? So just remember, you need the indirect object pronoun going before the conjugated verb, okay? So because a lot of my students have this issue, right? That they forget that the reflexive verbs go before the pronouns, the reflexive pronoun go before the conjugated verb, okay? And remember, not all verbs can be reflexive, okay? And sometimes students make verbs reflexive when they shouldn't be reflexive, okay? Here, what reflexive means is that you're doing the action and you're receiving the action. For example, lavarse las manos, they are my hands and I'm washing them, okay? So I wash my hands. So I am doing a verb and receiving the action, okay? So that is reflexive. It's very different than, so I'm going to give you an example, right? Me lavo las manos, okay? You can use the same verb without reflexive, lavo el coche, okay? Why is the second one not with the reflexive pronoun? Because I am not the car, right? I am just washing the car, okay? Here, me lavo las manos, it has the reflexive pronoun because they are my hands. I'm doing the action, okay? So that's the reflexive, okay? Another important thing that you're going to see in this chapter is preterite, okay? A lot of my students have, well, this is kind of, maybe it's a little more difficult because there's a lot of irregular stems at the beginning of some verbs. So I would recommend that you do a study guide, okay, for the preterite, so you remember them, like a cheat sheet, okay, where you have all your preterites, all the irregulars, all the ones that are regular, the endings for each, okay. There are 6 irregulars, okay, irregular verbs, not irregular stems, but irregular verbs which are conjugated completely different than what it should be, right? There are also like the verb ser and ir have the same conjugation, even though they're 2 completely different verbs, but context will tell you if you're using ser or ir, okay? If I say fui a Mexico, I know that it's ir. Fui simpática is ser, okay? So pay attention to those things, okay? Remember, I am here to help you, okay? So email me if you're having trouble understanding something of the homework. I'm very surprised that the first day I posted the homework, I had questions, and I'm super excited because that means that you're trying, and that makes me super excited. I'm here to help you. I'm trying to answer questions as soon as I get them. So if I don't answer within 24 hours, please email me again because I might have lost your email or I didn't get your email. Okay. Thank you so much. And please use the discussion board that I posted for the podcast, so you can exchange your contact information to do the podcast and to do the Canvas activity. Okay. Have a great day and week. Hasta luego.